From District 33. I'm a wrestling coach for 35 years, which means I've been a fan of these guys for probably 40 years. We just wanted to bring our wrestling team together. They got second behind a Penn State team, but that was very stacked. But the thing about these guys is they all been in this program for 2 to 3 to 4 years. They're our kids now. And one thing that I noticed was that they had scored more points than several teams who had won a Division I title. So kind of putting that in perspective, you know, different year, different time, these guys, they're the men. So a lot of people don't want to agree with me on this, but we're a wrestling state. And so watching these guys, and the first duel I went to this year was a Penn State duel, and I don't really remember the outcome, so I came back to, like, I think maybe Minnesota duel. Was that at home? Yeah. So I came to Minnesota, and that was better results. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to award these guys their well-deserved awards, and a little bit about wrestling. And then people always argue, like, what sport is the most difficult? But there's really no argument here. Whenever I go into a restaurant or an establishment, I kind of look around and measure myself. So I know that they all do too. And then they walk in and they say, we're good here. I just know that mentality. And so now when I walk in, I try to make friends with these kind of guys since I'm getting older. But we're going to go ahead and read the resolution. Rod, is this it right here? No, it's not. It's on the desk. Oh, one of them. Yes. So it takes a while to get these established, but we wrote a resolution. It's from the 109th Legislative Session, Resolution 104, whereas the 2024-25 University of Nebraska Wrestling Team had 8 wrestlers earn All-American honors, with 3 finalists and 2 champions at the 2025 NCAA Wrestling Championships in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And whereas Brock Hardy of Brigham City, Utah, earned a spot in the 141-pound championship, earned a silver medal in All-American status. And whereas Ridge Lovett, a native of Post Falls, Idaho, and an All-American in 2022 and 2024, won the 149-pound championship match, defeating the defending national champion, and became the first individual national champion for Nebraska since Jordan Burroughs in 2011. And whereas Antrell Taylor, a Millard South product, won the 157-pound championship match, earning a 4-2 decision, and coupled with Lovett's title marked the first time since 1984 the Huskers had multiple individual NCAA champions in the same season, when Jim Shear and Bill Shear had accomplished that feat. And whereas Big Red Wrestlers put together 17 bonus point wins for the 5th highest point total by a runner-up team in NCAA history. And whereas Nebraska set a school record for All-Americans with 8 at an NCAA tournament. And whereas Nebraska Wrestling had its best performance and team finish ever at the 2025 NCAA Wrestling Championships by scoring the most points and having the most All-Americans. Whereas Nebraska had a historic national runner-up finish to their season, and whereas head coach Mark Manning was named the 2025 NCAA Tournament Coach of the Year. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the members of the 109th Legislature of Nebraska, first session, the legislature congratulates Nebraska Wrestling Team on their tremendous season and for their elite performance at the 2025 NCAA Wrestling Championship. Congratulations, gentlemen. All right, so I will be followed by, I guess, who's got the lighter guy? Okay, I'll be followed by Senator Terrell McKinney.
Thank you. I am Senator Terrell McKinney. I'm from Omaha, represent District 11. I'm a former wrestler myself, and I also coach wrestling right now at Omaha North. And I wanted to present this resolution to Antrell Taylor for winning the national championship this year. Whereas the 2025 National Collegiate Athletic Association Wrestling Championship were held on March 22nd, 2025, and whereas Antrell Taylor of the University of Nebraska at Lincoln won the 125 title against Joey Blaze of Purdue. And whereas Taylor's victory earned him a second All-American honor and his 50th career win, and whereas Taylor finished his season with 27 wins and 4-loss record, whereas the legislature recognizes the academic, athletic, and artistic achievements of youth of our state, now therefore is resolved, members of the 109th legislature of the second session, congratulate you on your championship.
I'm Senator Dan Lonowski from Amherst, District 41, and I have the honor here to the resolution. Whereas 2025 National Collegiate Athletic Association Wrestling Championship was held in Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where Ridge Levitt competed in the championship for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln wrestling team, and Levitt won the 149-pound National Collegiate Athletic Association Wrestling Championship by defeating the #1 seed, Caleb Hansen of Virginia Tech. Levitt was the first national champion since 2011 for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, and Levitt also earned the title of the 2025 Big Ten Championship and a 4-time National Collegiate Athletic Association All-American. Outside of the competition, Levitt is also active in his church and community and volunteering with the local projects and programs, as well as coaching with Team Real Life, an outreach ministry that Levitt grew up with. And the legislature recognizes the academic, athletic, and art achievements of the youth of the state. Now, therefore, by the resolution by the members of the 109th Legislature of Nebraska, first session, congratulate Ridge Levitt on winning the 2025 149-pound National Collegiate Athletic Association Wrestling Championship. Ridge? Now I'll bring Dan Lonowski back up.
Yeah, I apologize. I do have one more. This is a resolution from my office. Mr. Hardy did make the finals. He does deserve something. So Legislative District 33 official proclamation, whereas Brock Hardy is a 2025 NCAA Division I runner-up at 141 pounds, and whereas Brock Hardy is a Big Ten champion at 141 pounds, and whereas Hardy is a 3-time NCAA All-American wrestler, and whereas Hardy is a 4-time NWCA Scholar All-American, and whereas Hardy is an academic All-Big Ten, and whereas Hardy compiled a 27-4 record this season. Therefore, I, Dan Lonowski, Nebraska State Senator of Legislative District 33, extend my sincere congratulations to Brock Hardy for his outstanding season. And I do want to say one more thing. Every time I watch these guys win or lose, you couldn't really tell because of the way they held themselves and carried themselves on the mat. If you're a coach, that's huge for your kids to see that. And so I really have, you guys are nothing but class and dignity. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for taking time, and I just have been looking so forward to this afternoon. And there's just maybe a couple things I want to share. Number one, just watching you guys today. Your love for each other, having each other's back, make sure you don't take that for granted. It's a special, special gift. That's why you're runners up and you're going to get Penn State next year. Absolutely. That's right. Because of who you are and what kind of team you are. Yeah, you wrestle out there by yourself, but you can't get there to be an elite level like you guys are without having each other. It's really, really cool. Touch my heart deeply. Touch my heart deeply because, we see you wrestle on the mat. Nobody sees what it takes the other 330 days or 40 days a year to be able to be as elite as you are. So I just want you to know that we're incredibly, incredibly proud of you. Incredibly proud of you. We need you to be lifetime Nebraskans so that Nebraska can have the wrestling evolve. Just think of the progress your program, our program, has developed under Coach Manning's leadership in 25 years. It's incredible because back in my day, we weren't terribly good at wrestling, and Iowa smoked us by everything almost every match. And I'm pretty sure they can't touch you today, right? They can't touch you. So mark it down. These guys kick Iowa's butt every time. I do need to call Governor Reynolds. And I think the other part that is important is for you young men to have full appreciation for everybody around you to help you be as awesome as you are. And because it takes a full team and it takes a ton of support. To make it all happen, it takes leadership. It takes somebody that absolutely has your back and draws everything out of you you can. I got to watch you this year at the duel against Penn State. I'm telling you what, I'm amazed. You guys are elite. You're tougher than nails. If any football player ever says they're as tough as you can tell them.
Don't sort nothing, Governor.
So, I want to recognize and introduce Coach Manning. Coach Manning, we're incredibly proud. National runner-up. It's extraordinary achievement. Couldn't be more proud of you and your team. And national runner-up's cool, but I'm telling you what, you don't get a group of young men that come from all over the world that come together and love each other like these guys do. And that only happens by leadership. God bless you.
Thank you. Thanks. All right. Well, big thank you to Governor Pillen and Senator Lonowski for inviting us today to have a historic moment, right? We had a historic moment at Big Tens and at Philadelphia at the NCAA Championships. And we're the fourth school in 34 years to have 8 All-Americans. That's saying something. That's historic. There's 10 weight classes, and it's hard to become an All-American, let alone become a national champ. So we had 2 national champs out of 10, right? So that's pretty good. And another guy, Brock Hardy, was just, very margin away from winning another one. So a great team, historic team, great staff. My staff is amazing. Brian, Tervel, James, Tyler Weeda has been with us amazing amount of years. John Pfeiffer, our strength coach, Brandon Bradley, my director of ops. I want to thank my wife for being here. I didn't thank her the other night at the banquet. I thanked about 4,000 other people, but my wife and my family, my boys are, my backbone of our program, backbone of me. But like Governor Pillen said, I think Nebraskans can relate to this team because of the hard work, the grit, and you know what I love about these guys? They're not flashy. I mean, Ridge might wear a necklace that I have to borrow once in a while, but other than that, these guys put their head down, they compete hard, and it's like being successful. These guys, I love them because we're preparing these guys for life, to be successful in life, and these guys are going to be an amazing employees for someone and amazing husbands and fathers. And that's what coaching is all about. Wrestling, just a little bit of it, right? And they're champions on the mat and off the mat. And I think Nebraskans can relate to them because they keep their head down. They don't complain. We're not buying anyone. We're building them. We're building them. We're not buying them. And these guys know what I'm talking about because guys like Ridge Lovett or Brock Hardy could have went in the portal last year and made a heck of a lot more money than they did. But it's moments like this and moments like in March is what you live for. And that's what we're selling. We're selling and we're doing it right. And we're unique in that fashion. I think people of Nebraska can understand and relate with this team. They're hard-nosed, tough, and you get what you earn. You get what you earn, and that's what we're made of, and just grateful for this opportunity and grateful for all the people that helped make it happen. So thank you, and go Huskers.
right, so we get to have a little fun. We get a couple proclamations. So today, the number one, whereas the 2024 wrestling team had its best performance, 2025 NCAA Wrestling Championship runner-up. It's pretty extraordinary. And whereas 8 members earned All-American honors, and Nebraska, and 2 were champions. And whereas Nebraska had a historic national run-up finish to the season, and whereas head coach Mark Manning was named 2025 NCAA Tournament Coach of the Year. That is really awesome. Congrats. And now therefore it be I, Jim Pillen, Governor of the extraordinary state of Nebraska, do hereby proclaim today Husker Wrestling Day in Nebraska, and I do hereby urge all citizens to take due notice of these dudes. That's awesome. All right.
Thank you.
And then we have a tradition in Nebraska because, you know, we have this extraordinary landlocked land, but we have the largest pot of gold, the Ogallala Aquifer, underground. It's the largest, most sustainable aquifer underground in the Western Hemisphere. So we name admirals of our Navy. And so, first off, recognize our Coach of the Year. You got to start calling Coach Manning Admiral now.
Thank you. Ryan, you got it? Admiral tomorrow.
So since Coach Manning got his first, Coach Snyder, we'll call you Admiral Junior. And, you know, I think it's really important that national champions get recognized. So Ridge Levitt, Admiral. And last but certainly not least, Antrell Taylor, Admiral. Now, and hopefully, hopefully when we go over to the residence and we can have snacks, you don't have to worry about, you can eat anything you want today?
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're allowed, yeah.
So, yeah, really cool. So, what you're in this room is what's called the hearing room. I call it the press room, where we have the press come and we'll do bill signings and so forth. And one of the cool things, we just had this room redone in the last, since I've been governor, we were actually out for this part of it. But early on, it's kind of interesting how quick times change. So the flag had been totally yellow, and then the walls, because this is 100 years old. So way back when the guys in press, they used to smoke cigarettes all the time in here, and cigars. So the walls have been all fresh. So it's brand new and really good stuff. So we thought that.
How old are these chairs?
Those chairs would be here since 100 years. 100 years. Wow. Yeah. So the Capitol started construction in 1922, finished in 1932. So a little under 100 years. But so pretty cool. All right. Should we move this aside and do some pictures?